Hey everybody. So I just wanted to reach out. It's been a really long time since I did a video, and this video is not a PEBL video at all. It's actually a video about a rowing machine that I just got, made by WaterRower. And I just wanted to say, I hope everybody is doing well and that you're being safe out there with the whole COVID thing going on. I've been spending obviously a lot of time at home. I haven't been really riding my bike or my PEBL at all for quite a while. And now that I'm working exclusively from home, I still want to get some exercise. And we can walk around the neighborhood and stuff like that, but I don't really feel too cool about riding my bike because you're riding right past people on the trail and you don't know where they're at and whether they're healthy and all that. And so I've just been kind of thinking, well, I've gone on a few rides around the neighborhood, but you're not going to get any exercise going on rides around the neighborhood. And you're not really going to get any exercise going down to the grocery store, which is only a few minutes away for me. So if I want to get real exercise, I've got to go on like a 20 or 25 mile ride, which is fine, except for the whole previously mentioned, riding past a whole bunch of people and stuff like that. So that being said, I invested in a WaterRower. I used to have a Concept 2 years ago, and I really liked it. It was just such a monster. It took up a huge amount of space in my house. I used to have a dedicated theater room that was separate from my house, and I actually had the Concept 2 in there. And it was like a 12 by 14 room, and it basically wiped out the whole thing. And when I wasn't using it, I broke it in half and kind of piled it in the corner, but it's still a big machine. I mean, it's a good, 25 inches wide, 26 inches wide, 30 inches tall, and so just this huge thing. And then you split it in half, and then you still have another thing that's pretty long that's kind of leaned up against. It's just not the best looking machine. That's the bottom line. It works great, but it's not the best looking machine. It is the kind of industry standard for clubs and health clubs and things like that, and also for people that are training for actual on-water rowing. But for me, it was like, there's a lot of things. I mean, I've already had that experience, so I know exactly what that's like. And so when I was looking at a new rower to replace the one that I got rid of several years ago, which was my Concept 2, I started looking at the WaterRowers, and one of the things I really liked about them is that they're American made. They're made out of all American hardwoods, which I love. Of course, probably some of the small hardwares from China. I have no doubt about that, but I'm sure there's not any machine shops custom machining their individual screws and things. But all to be said, most of it, the lion's share of the materials on the thing are American made, which is great. And it's a company on the East Coast. I think they're in New Hampshire or something like that. And, just pretty good service. I ordered it on the 25th. Anyway, it was like 3 weeks before I got it. And that was an abnormally long time, and I think it had to do with the COVID thing. But they did eventually get it to me. I got it yesterday. It took me about, 20 minutes to put it together. Well, this is the very first go. We'll see. Probably shouldn't be doing it with my slippers on. You know how that goes. But I'll give it a try. Slippers and all. Go. My slippies. Not quite that much, but anyway. It's actually a decent amount of resistance if you pull hard. Yeah, I don't think we want to put more in, because if you pull hard, it gives more resistance. If you pull easy, it's less. That's one of the reasons that this one's nicer than like the Concept. But yeah, I think. And pretty simple. And the very first time I rode on it, my first experience was, man, this thing is quiet. I love this because the Concept 2 is a great rower, but if you start really cranking on it, man, you are making a lot of noise. It's like, you know, it's loud. Even when I had it in my dedicated theater room, I had to turn it up really loud to be able to like hear, like if I was watching a show while I was rowing. And I used to row for like 5, 6, 7,000 meters a day. And so, you know, you're out there for 20, 30 minutes at a time rowing, and you can't really hear anything because it's so loud, you know. And the WaterRower is very quiet. I mean, I rowed this morning first thing and I turned the TV on. There's some really great, and this is different than a few years ago when I had my Concept 2 also. There's some really great like videos on YouTube where people have literally gone out on the water and put a GoPro on the front of their boat and done like an hour-and-a-half row. And so you can actually put that on and sit in front of your TV, and you can feel like you're really right there. You can hear the water trickling sounds, and of course my WaterRower makes that too when it spins. And it just is really cool. And I also tried out this software called KinoMap. In that video, you know, and I haven't, again, I just got the thing yesterday. I'll probably do another review in a couple months when I've had a little bit more time with it and where I've kind of developed better ideas about how it works and all that. And also, you know, storage and maintenance and all that kind of stuff. But just for this, you know, two-second review right after getting it, man, I'm super impressed. Real quiet operation, real quality components all the way through, and a great workout as expected with rowing. According to a lot of different knowledgeable people in the workout space, rowing uses 84% of your body muscles. And so unlike cycling, which is, I would hazard a guess that you're like looking at maybe 20% at the most. Unlike that, you're using 84% of your muscles. So even a very short 15-minute ride on a bike, even if you were cranking up a hill, you're not really going to be burning all that many calories. You've got to go on like an hour-long ride and keep that heart rate elevated for like an hour in order to burn the same amount of calories that you'd be doing in a 15-minute row on a rowing machine because of that percentage of body's muscles that you're not using. So that's a great feature too. My thought was, now that I'm working from home exclusively and I'm going to be here more often than not, I'm not going to be riding my bike around or riding my PEBL around very much. And so my thought was, well, I'm going to buy this rower, and then when I have a 15-minute break, I can just jump off my computer, you know, do some rowing, and then get back on my computer. And then, you know, first of all, I'm getting a little exercise in the middle of the day, which is good. And I get up, I have a standing desk and stuff, so it's not like I'm just sitting there all day. But, you know, I can get up, I can move around, I can get some exercise, get the blood flow, get the pumping, you know, blood pumping and whatnot. And then, you know, I can sit back down and continue. And then my plan is to, you know, work my way up to doing those 8,000 meter rows more often. And then ideally, I've always wanted to do like the marathon version of the row. So maybe I'll work on that. Some birds. Anyway, well, thanks guys, and I hope you're staying safe out there, and feel free to leave some comments in the comment section. And happy bike riding if you're doing that, and pebbling if you're doing that, and otherwise, I'll talk to you soon.